Welcome to Big Bear Bard's Board Games. And I'm Bruce. And we have an unboxing to do today, which is here on the table. And we'll get into it right now. So, let me get out my trusty knife and cut the packaging. And let's close this for safety reasons. And we open, and we open, and there's popcorn in this too. And this looks like it's a transcontinental game. Let's see the best way to lift this out. I'm going to stand up, and you're going to see my Zoe Strong t-shirt because I recorded this at the same time as the last video. So, Zoe, I love you and hope you're doing well. And lift that out. It's a beautiful package. So there's less popcorn in this box than there was in the last one. So we'll just gently get rid of that so it doesn't end up all over the floor. And wow. Look at this. Take a look at this. And this is the winner of Canadian Game Design and winner of Cardboard Edison Award. And let me check out one to 4 players. 15 to 150 minutes, and ages 13 plus. Wheelhouse games. So let's take a look at this again. And there is lovely gold surprinting on here. And we'll take out my trusty knife again. And it looks like it's a Canadian game because it's got maple leafs all over it. Some would say that maple leafs are not exclusive to Canada, but it is the Canadian symbol. So it could be a US game too, because maple trees grow there too. Particularly in the Northeast. And let's get this off. The plastic is gone. And we have a box unlidding to do here. Let's see how good it is. Well, that was about a 3. And we have an empty lid, but the outside of the packaging is beautiful. So we have a rather fancy roll book. And this is historical notes. Introduction, credits, principal logistical political obstacles, Sanford Fleming, William Cornelius Van Horn, Lord and Lady Dufferin, George Stephen, Donald Smith. There must be some historical accuracy to this game. Catherine Sutton, Red Eagle, and he's in a canoe. Pound Maker and Big Bear, Crowfoot. And there's a map. And of course that looks like a map of the prairie provinces to the west and the US to the south. So, very interesting. And here we go. And it shows 2 rail lines. 1 rail line in Ontario and 1 rail line in Quebec, a separate rail lines in the Maritimes, and from Ontario West there's two lines. And Law and Order Healthy, Healy and Hamilton, Bill Miner, Sam Steele, Mrs. Hoberg, Blanche Maloney, Independent Women in the West. And of course, there's a map of Ontario. And Susan Agnes MacDonald, Robert Gillespie Reed, John Longren. So this is all the history. I think that's what this book is. This is all the history and flavor text for the game. So let's see if we can find the rules. And I think this is the rules here. And okay, so there's the board layout and the gameplay. And I remember watching this online, and that's why I backed it, is because I saw the video online and it looked very interesting. So there is resources and phases. There's the action phase. So there's phases: telegram phase, action phase, scoring VPs, railhead phase, railhead phase continued, actions that load the resources on the train, keeping the train board organized, actions that unload resources to developments, when a development is completed, actions, other actions, for example, resupply, and it goes into the ally cards and ally card symbols, ally card examples, investment cards, triggering the game end. The final round is triggered when the last spike is claimed. A, at the end of the railroad phase, remove all the wilderness tiles from the board except for the railhead tile and the Pacific tiles. Place the tiles in ascending order on the final spaces on the track board. The priority resource tile is also removed. When this occurs, the next round will be the final round. And it has 2-player game rules as well. And it goes into example rounds. So that's example final scoring. So here we go into the example rounds. The westbound telegram phase, the westbound action phase, the westbound railhead phase, eastbound telegram phase, the action phase, and then overview and setup. So overview and setup, phases and syndicate draws, action phase, syndicate action draw, syndicate action minor action, syndicate main action, syndicate resource draw, railhead phase, end of game. And 2-player rules, things to remember. Very, very good rules, it looks like. Hopefully there's no problems in there. And we've got some card tiles here, and I'm not sure how this opens. Bear with me. I think I have some scissors on the shelf here. And let's open this. Let's open this gingerly. We'll cut along there because there's room to cut there. And I think I just noticed the flap. There we go. We could have just opened the flap. And since I destroyed that, we're going to go there. And I think these are that is for solo mode. So this game can be played in a solo mode too. Interesting. And then we have these, which I think are screens, so player can hide resources, because they look like they fold. And like that. and it has all this information on the inside and this lovely artwork on the outside, and each one is a little bit different. So we have this darker one with the lake in the background, and this one is trees and a lighter color. So I think each player would get one of these. This is greener, and I hope it doesn't disappear with my green screen, so I'll put it here. And this last one is like a night scene. So there are these lovely screens, and the solo mode rules. So we've got a bunch of punch outs here. This is cardboard, and we'll get into this, and let me see if there's a pull tab on this one too. Yes, there is. So and so we have cardboard, and of course these punch out pretty easy, and of course it's like a train car. So I'll do that later off camera, but I'll show you the different boards, and these are two-sided. So I guess that shows you the outside of the car, and that shows you what's in the car. So, and here we have some, I'm not sure if that's engines. Nope. These are coal cars, I think. Okay. And we've got a bunch of rectangular tiles here, and there's a railhead, and then 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 7, 2, 3, and then there's this one with a slot in it. And this is resources, I believe. And there's another slot there. And this looks like it's iron grids. And cars that carry them. And over here we have different resources. And we've got iron grids and coal and people. So we can transfer the coal, we can transfer the iron grids and the people. And the last one is the engines. And I think these are the last spikes in the railhead. And I'm wondering if these are what stand up in the cards with the slots. How cool is that? So that's the cardboard pieces. And we get in here, and here, I think this is the board, which is going to be an unusual board because it is a train line. It's a one-sided board, but I think the train line is here and the shop yards are on this side and the train line's on that side, and it goes and goes and goes. So how cool is that? So that's the board. And there is a metal train in here, a metal engine. Just take a look at that. Wow. And it's even got the coal bin on the back. Lovely little piece. It's even got its own little slot here in the box. And we go here, and we've got, I think this is another board, or it goes on top of the existing board. I'm not sure. I'll have to read the rules. But it's got the Rockies, the Prairies, the Canadian Shield, and the Lowlands, and the Maritimes, West and East. So, and we've got green cubes. We've got silica, which I just learned is useful for putting in coin drawers. So I'm not going to throw these out anymore because they help to keep the coins dry. And we've got some meeples here, and they're pretty big. There's orange and purple and yellow and green. And you can see the unique shapes on those. We've got yellow cubes. We've got purple cubes. We've got these, which I think are the commodities, set prices for the commodities that you carry. We've got red cubes. We've got these markers. We've got more of these. Slightly different shape, I believe. Yeah, it is a different shape because if you look, these are 2 high and these are only 1 high. So they are different from those. We've got these bigger cubes. And another package of different shapes in here. These are houses, I believe. These are houses or buildings. And we have Ziplocs, which I think is to put cards and other loose resources that once you open them, they have nowhere to go. And I'm going to pull, it has a great tray. And I'm going to pull the tray just to make sure there's nothing under it. And there's nothing under the tray, so I'll put the tray back in. Come on. It's easier to get out than it is to get back in. There we go. And the cards. And let's see if we can get this open. That's probably what one of the Ziplocs is for. Is because once you open this, it is just open and you don't want loose cards all over the place. And set that there. And cards are pretty thin, but we've got different backed cards. So let's go through these one at a time. So we have this card, this design on the back, which has that's Hudson's Bay Company blanket. James Hector, William Van Horn, Susan Agnes MacDonald, John Malcoon, the Dufferins, Mrs. Hoberg, John Mildred Ware, Hugh Allen, Picostowen, and I think these are native names that are difficult for me to pronounce. Forgive me, all my native friends. Gabriel Dumont, Ella Cora Hind, Michael Haney, and Ha Ling. And so I think these are the different personalities that are in the history book. And they have the Hudson's Bay blanket. I think that's what that is, folded up on there. Now that's a yellow color. We have a green color cards with a Hudson's Bay blanket. I think all the cards have the Hudson's Bay blanket on it. And this is the green cards. And this is John A. Robinson. Elizabeth Parker. Donald A. Smith. Healy and Hamilton. James and Mary McLeod. Sam Steele. He's a Mountie. I don't know if you can see that. He's a Mountie. It's not as red in that picture, but Sophie Morigo and John Abbott, Edward Mallandaise, Bill Miner, and Blanche Maloney. So that's another set of people. And I wonder if these are all people. Okay, we've got a different card here because it has Maple Leafs on there. And this still has the blanket on it. And Yip Sang, George Stephen, Simon Dawson, John A. MacDonald. Actually, that should be Sir John A. MacDonald. A.P. Rogers, Sanford Fleming, John Logren, Louis Riel, George Etienne Cartier, and he's for a solo game, and Albert Lacombe, Isapo Mutsika, Miss Ku Kinu, Tom Wilson, Robert Gillespie Reed, Nahabi Nakwa. And forgive me again if I'm mispronouncing those native names. And let's look at these cards with the Maple Leafs, and there's cards at the end. So we have this lovely Maple Leaf design. Okay. Game end. I think these are locations. So we've got Filian and the Torno game end. Ewington Ranch. Cowan Catalog. Quality Homes. Books and Maps. Telegraph Fine Sund National Telegraph Company. Angie's Rocky Mountain Chateaus. Agriculture Implements, finest quality. Rail Shops. Kramer Freight Rail Shops. R. Perot Brewing Company. Liberty Oaks Livestock Company. Everhart Miller Railroad Supply Company. And Peterson and Raymond Adventure Outfitters. So I think these are resources or commodities that are traded and shipped. And the last three cards here are lowlands, prairies, and the Shield, the Canadian Shield, which is Ontario and Quebec. They don't have card for the Maritimes, but I think that's part of the Shield. So that's what we have here, in this wonderful game of Transcontinentals, and there are lots of game videos online about how to play this. So I won't do another one. I just wanted to show you what was in this lovely box. Thank you for watching, and this is a lovely and beautiful board game. We hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.